Neptune aspect. You know what God does for me? Because there's only so much time here to understand something. So, what God does for me, has done, and is continuing, is, meditation. But when you say meditation, that's just the entrance. You know, I just learned, and I still need to look at it. Because like the best way to learn is like through experience. You have an experience, and then you hear about it. And you don't have to worry about that study as far as like now you're hearing. Oops, sorry. I do like my vibrating camera, baby. You're hearing, however you hear it. If it's the experience that you had, you're gonna say, yeah, that's it. You know, there's just what I mean is like in that study. If you're gonna study it, there just isn't a question. There isn't a question. You, in fact, probably can say it your own way, and if you're good at words, then you'll probably say it better. And I get the feeling, you know, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. It's the only time that you're surprised, is when you hear like 5 words that were put together in such a way. I wonder, see that combination, it might have how long when was that put together, and then how long is it going to be before somebody else hears it? Because one person put it together, but you know there's a printing press and all this shit going on, but see, now this is where we're passing around some really good poetry. Maybe. Now, what does that depend on? Well, I say it depends on that experience. What is that experience of the truth? Again, you didn't hear it first, nobody told you, and that's not the way you learn. You're learning through experience. That's the only way that you're really learning, actually. It's funny how people think they can tell their kids something. I mean, you can, but you're just kind of, you're by experience, they're saying, well, it's possible I can tell somebody something, and then they will listen. More like, take it on, which is a little different. I mean, you can, I hope that you have your own faculties at this point, and that you're able to get that less obvious understanding than what your mind, you know, the mind is the obvious block. The mind is the one who, just to be there, will train the awareness, which is 2 different things, but the mind can train the awareness, which is not good. Nope. Your awareness trains the mind. And that's going along with what Sam Vaknin said earlier. He says, no, you know, it's a cute concept to approach things from the mind, but your environment is what is shaping your mind. And he also says your behaviors. You know, and I say, okay, yeah, that's along the line of what my experiences, and then also it's like this, but there's the shades of gray, you know, it's You have illumination of mind that can lead to behaviors. That is when that's just with that, if with your awareness you convert it over to behavior. And see, that wasn't your mind. Your mind isn't awareness. And neither are the behaviors. I'll put a really good little talk about poetry, you guys. That's, one of the things you need to find out. Where is the good poetry? Khalil Gibran. Find Khalil Gibran, the prophet. This poetry that he writes. See, I'm curious to know, like, what other kinds of beings out there who, let's say they have been abused. They have been used abnormally. It's just not the usual. So then they're probably closed off to a lot of things. There's not being used there very well. They're closed off. So then, if they read this poetry, where they don't even, when they don't even have a curiosity, a question about, God, I was going to use this word again, and I don't know why I have a problem with this word yet. We'll figure it out. Concept. When they read these things as they're just mere concepts, and then, just sticking these things together for them, there are people that can just read the poetry that has been around. It will be around forever, but there is a movement to keep it away from view. You really have to search it for it. Man, what I keep coming across too, and this is what God is doing for me, by the way, is this hit and miss life. Not everybody is gonna find a person who says, "Oh no, check this poetry out. Just look at it." Because with like Khalil Gibran, the prophet, it's about this guy who walks through the town, and I don't know what was so amazing about him, but then everybody started asking him questions. He said, "But what about this? And what about that?" And there was things like, "What about children? What about marriage? What about talking? What about knowledge? What about..." And he just said, "Oh," and he would say the most profound thing. Every single sentence, you have to have an intelligence to, first of all, know these words mean something, and they're going to point at some experience that if I can connect it, if I can say, is this see, you'll have to assess. You'll read it like it's almost like you read a newspaper, and you say, I think that's possible. It's true, but really, this is beyond that. The newspaper thing. No, this will actually like I say, babe, it's just going to confirm what you already know. But this person just said it in like 12 sentences, 5 words each. And I heard so much bullshit. And I'm left empty. But then somebody comes around and says 5 words, and boy, this video and me, 9 minutes. What God has shown me, babes, it's Neptune. Neptune is this transit we're going through, and it feels very, very much more what I would rather feel of this transit. The sun conjuncting Neptune. You can't go wrong with the sun as far as the positivity. Like if you question, is it good or bad? Well, it's a conjunction. The sun and Neptune together. The sun turns just kind of will erase Neptune, but the fact is now the sun has this infused in its radiation, and it's God. I can feel it. Even though It's been hard opposing my Neptune, but that's an opposition, not a square. The square is a blind corner. You can't really see. It's an edge that is just hard. It's hard. It's harder than the opposition. The opposition can go either way, right? You got this way or that way. And I can see it. I can see it. It's like, oh God. Not everybody knows God, so I could have my rose-colored glasses on and say, shh, this is going to work because everything is always working out for me. And what else would the higher mind of God says as far as the magic would say? There, I see the black clouds, but there's a silver lining. Well, the square is only a black cloud. The square is just a black cloud. It's not the silver lining too. And so we have that sun there causing a silver lining right now. And I was going to talk to you about the different mind states that I didn't know there's material on it, but I'm experiencing it. And starting with meditation, that's the entrance. And then, well, I'm just going to jump to the theta brainwave state, which God is showing me this. It's happening very, very naturally. It could be happening with the population out there if they would just fucking shut up and stop. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Not every day is the same fucking push and hustle and bustle and fucking pattern. We are going through this amazing cosmic wave. We are on this ocean, man. And the theta brainwave state, I know nothing about it. On the academic level, I couldn't tell you. See, I'm interested in just I would love to look at it because it's going to say probably everything I'm about to say through my experience, and I'm not going to talk about it much. Can't do it yet. Can't. It's almost come out though. But I'll get into the basics of it. Sleep. Sleep. You know, you do see people when people hear the word meditation, they find this person that is just completely right. They're just a stone. But that's not really the solid truth about meditation. You don't need to get out of meditation, and I didn't just say you don't need to get out of that position like this. No, you can you know, this is the truth about meditation. Once you enter and know what meditation is, that you have achieved meditation. Why that you meditate if you have you see it. If you're benefiting from it, you're never going to go away from that benefit. You're just going to say, I could stay here. I'll just stay here. And the rumor has it, I mean, very few people know what I'm talking about at this point. But, you know, a meditator can observe them sleep. I observe my own sleep. You can see yourself dreaming. You can catch your dream. And lucid dream is really all that I'm familiar of. As far as sleep, and that it really does. Now we're talking about this trippy subject matter, and I was trying to tell you about the theta brainwave state, which I can only come to you from my experience. But I'm interested in the academic study, which would be like, okay, let's open the pages. What I'm getting is that there's the alpha, delta, and theta. Alpha is the entrance into meditation, and that is when you see your mind, you see it, and you're very much in a physical state of being. What I mean is, you're not sitting like this. You are sweeping the floor. You are driving the car. You are doing anything and everything. Once you hit, if you really have, see, this is the funny thing that I see everywhere online, right? It's like, I tried meditating for 20 minutes. It was amazing. I was like, well, why did you stop meditating? First of all, you don't know what meditation is. So excited for you, for your discovery, really. But let me tell you what, no mind likes meditation. No mind likes that idea. And then if you're a mind worshiper, let's say if you are somebody who just, you've been programmed, highly programmed. You know who my experience is, oh my God, 16 minutes, where are we now? God showed me this, Hans. My experience personally, and I'll wrap this up now, as a comedy. It's a comedy minute now. My experience is that Catholics do not like meditation. It scares the shit out of them. Why? All of their subconscious programming, all of their mind just starts swarming around them like a ghost and says, no, 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 and it's forget it. Ugh. You know, they start feeling, oh God, so paranoid. And that's the truth, because that's what you have to get over. That's just the entrance. You need a guide, most likely, to, and you know, you don't know that you don't really need a guide, but you do if you have such programming in your head that you can't let go into your real life, by the way, which is never not going to be now. It is now. You know, that's a problem. That is the problem of mind. And it can mask itself so freaking hard. Aren't you glad I didn't say fucking? The algorithm on my Facebook, it says that the main subject matter that I talk about is fucking. Anyway, getting back to what God did show me, and it has been letting me know, and it's okay if I let them know. He says that's okay. You know. Some things you're supposed to kind of keep to yourself. A lot of things, everything actually. Everybody's supposed to know it. You just know it already. You just know, and you don't wear a cross about it. You just wink your eye to people about it. But anyway, getting back to, it's a very fishy subject, you know. The Piscean age. No, it's Neptune. It's Neptune. It's God. It's God. Like water, my friends.